Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for September 7th, 2019. With your host, Peacemaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
Ryder is good, and I am happy. That is the best way to sum up today. The 0-1 continues to look good. So I am happy that we have a good Ryder series. And then Climax Heroes was fun. Although every match is like, well, every round is like a minute.
And some of those rounds, it seemed like you were catching like very lucky breaks.
Oh, just walking right up to him, being like, "Boop! I get my finisher now."
That, and I think there was one that you were surviving by like 1 HP kind of deal, and turned it around to win.
To be honest, I stopped paying attention to the health bar. I'm just like, am I still up? Yes, I got it. I'm gonna keep fighting.
I'm not lying. One of those, you all that would have had to have been done is you be breathed on, and you would have been done.
It doesn't help that blocking is not very. It doesn't seem to work right with how I have it set up. Because, for reference, the form changes are supposed to be on the analog sticks, and movement is on the D-pad.
And you're not doing it that way.
No, I swapped that around to where movement is on one of the analog sticks, and form changes and all that stuff is on the D-pad. Because that makes more sense to me. As it turns out, I think that fucks with how the blocking is detected.
Probably.
Because blocking is essentially hold back. Well, I think the game gets confused on how I'm holding back. or what counts as back.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, we have a surprising amount of news, I feel like. Like, wow, there is plenty to talk about this week. Along with the Direct. But I guess before we get into that, Tommy, you've been playing anything these last couple weeks?
Not really, actually. I mean, I think the only thing I've really sunk any kind of time into was I've been playing around with the SNES stuff.
I played the Puyo Puyo game and got my ass handed to me like 4 rounds in. Like, extremely so. Like, the AI was like, no, you are buried in trash, you are in the dumpster, goodbye.
That's funny.
Yeah. Also, I was wrong on the Tetris 99's Invictus. It is just one win, and you get into that mode. Bear in mind, the drop speed is like increased from the beginning, so you are having to work at a pretty faster rate off the bat already, along with dealing with a bunch of people who have probably played way too much Tetris 99 and will kick your ass.
And by probably, you mean they have.
Yeah. I have not even broke top 50. Which, if I get a good run, I can do that. Like, I got a really good run where I ended up 4th with no kills. Ponder that one for a second. Tetris 99, I got 4th, and I didn't get any KO anybody. I don't know how I pulled that off, but I don't know how I went that long without dying either.
To be fair, that's not that bad, because most of the times that I've really kind of broke even top 30, it usually is with 0 or 1 KO. The case of, yeah, that's not as confusing as it probably should be. And I don't understand why.
It does also not help because if that happens, oh boy, are you at an extreme disadvantage against everyone else because everyone else probably has KOs.
Yeah.
But I guess the main thing I've been playing is Astral Chain, and it's extremely good, even if it does have a bit of jank on it sometimes. Because the main problem, or the main jank with it is in the platforming, because there is a bit of some light platforming you have to do in this, especially in the final boss, because there's a segment of the final boss where you have to do platforming a bit blind and at speed. Or on the clock, mind you. And how you do platforming is you have your Legion, which you control with the analog stick, and you move it out. And then when it's at some, or like whenever you have it where you want it, you press a button and you're pulled to the Legion. The problem is you can sometimes hit like, their area and you go falling. And there's no good way of recovering from that. Also, for that final boss portion, it's hard to tell if you are over the area or if you're going in the right direction because of I would say the weird perspective, even though it doesn't look like it. It's just, it looks like I was going in the right direction, but I wasn't. I was actually overshooting the platform every time, and I didn't feel like I was.
Well,
yeah. Otherwise, it's really good. It's platinum action. It's really fun to play. It's really frenetic. I played on casual. I haven't played on the proper difficulty yet. But I have beat the game, and I've gotten unlocked what is more or less, here is a series of battle challenges. Beat them all and S-rank them, and you get goodies. And a couple of them have had an assortment of enemies that are obnoxious as fuck to deal with. Because they will not leave you alone and give you time to recover. Which is probably the point. Yeah, otherwise, I've really enjoyed Astral Chain. I guess my only other problem with it is you have a choice of two characters from the start, a male and female character, and they're twins. Well, they both have voice actors, because the one you don't choose has voice acting the entire game, whereas the one you do choose is silent for the entire game. And it's really awkward and dumb at times.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I'm just like, wait a minute. You have voice actors for both. Why did you not give them both scripts? Like, why? This is dumb. This is extremely dumb. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the investigation stuff, even if it's just a little slow, but it's fun. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It is really good. Although I did find out that apparently people review bombed it. Because it's on Switch. And it's only on Switch.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah, and it's even more stupid when I forget who tweeted it, but someone tweeted out talking about how Nintendo has treated Platinum better than any other publisher that they've ever dealt with, even to go as far back as Clover. The fact that Nintendo has pretty much just said, hey, make games for us, and they made games for them and put them out, and not fuck them in any way, is like, the best thing that's ever happened to Platinum. Because Capcom fucked them twice. First is Clover Studios for, like, shutting them down and shutting down their ideas. And secondly, for Bayonetta 2, because they were going to not do Bayonetta 2. Nintendo practically paid for Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. And it's the only reason it happened, because Capcom said no. And refused. Microsoft's fucked them because they canceled their game out of nowhere. And unceremoniously. Who else? I think Square is the only other company that has not fucked Platinum yet. Or at all, thankfully. Yeah, Astral Chain's really good, folks. I was curious to check it out. I might do a pre-show next week with it. I thought about it, but I wasn't, like, in the mood for it. I kind of wanted to break from it. I think next week I'll do the pre-show with Astral Chain and show off it more. But anything else before we move into articles?
I can't think of anything.
Alright. We are going to start with the Direct, which I kind of already talked with you about, like, Wednesday. So,
Yep.
We're just going to hit the major points here. Overwatch is coming to Switch, and it's like 30 FPS. And it's a bit of a visual downgrade. So, if you want to play Overwatch on the go, you can. And it comes out October 15th. Luigi's Mansion had some new stuff shown off. A few new floors, aka levels, and a 4v4 multiplayer, like, minigame mode. I'm pretty interested in Luigi's Mansion, to be honest. This one looks really good.
I mean, technically, isn't all Luigi Mansion games at least somewhat good?
2, I think, has the problem of being too bite-sized, I think. And it doesn't have, like, a lot of the boss stuff that, like, 1 in, from the looks of it, 3 are going to be, like, really focusing on. Super Kirby Clash is a free-to-start game on Switch. It is a scaled-up version of the 3DS, or 3DS version of it. And the netcode on it is apparently extremely bad.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I played it for like 20 minutes and I was already bored. The mobile game stuff just doesn't hold my attention, and this is extremely mobile game-esque.
But I also feel like it's slightly different than a lot of mobile games. Because a lot of mobile games, you're sitting in one spot, not really doing anything. But it's making you think you are, whereas with this, you do have to have a little bit of skill or you're going to die repeatedly.
Yeah. Trials of Mana is dated for April 24th, 2020. That looked alright. Some more Link's Awakening. Return to the Obra Dinn is coming to Switch in fall 2019. I think I streamed a little bit of that, didn't I? No, I didn't. I know I played through it. It's really good. It's a nice little, like, 3D puzzle game, essentially, as you try to figure out how all these people died, and also figure out who the hell these people are, because all you're giving is a few pictures and a list of names, and that's it. And you have to figure out who they are and how they died. And also just figure out the bigger mystery of, like, what the fuck happened to this boat? Spoilers. A lot of bad shit happened to this boat. Because a lot of people are very stupid and made a very terrible mistake. Game Freak's Town is now Little Town Hero. It's getting music done by Toby Fox of Undertale, and it's coming October 16th. It looked pretty good. I'd kind of like to see it in action more. What'd you think?
I don't actually think I even saw about it.
No.
I didn't watch the direct.
Oh, it looked alright. I think I wish it went more into mechanics. Banjo is out in Smash right now. I played him. He's really fun. I enjoy the bear and bird.
Yuck.
Guhut. Also, according to Sakurai, everyone from Banjo-Kazooie is a poor soul.
Huh.
Or a sad soul. I think it's sad soul. Sad soul. Terry Bogard of Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, and just SNK in general fame is our fourth character for Smash Ultimate. I know some people are like, Terry who? And I think I was vaguely aware of Terry, but like SNK is not a big knowledge base for me. Which John did a stream and informed everyone of SNK, which I found out that SNK are apparently one of the first people to ever put a health bar in a fucking game. Like, SNK has existed since 1979, I believe.
Well then.
That is how long this company's been around. Terry has actually been in over 50 games at this point. Like, he is up there with the Mario cast in terms of games under their belts. So, like, Terry is, I would say, like, he's probably not maybe popularly well known, but, like, he has his place in history. Like, I was watching John play the first Fatal Fury game, and while it's a 2D fighter, it also has a 0.5 aspect to it, where you can hop back and forth between the foreground and background to fight your opponent. And I just looked at that and went, this is in the era of Street Fighter. No one had ever done that, ever, in that time period. And it looked pretty cool. Outside of the fact that the Fatal Fury was a bit bit imbalanced in terms of the moves and stuff.
I can see that.
But still, I'm like, the more I've learned, the more I go, no, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with essentially Sakurai kind of admitting that, like, we're never going to duplicate this roster, so we're going to throw as much third-party shit in here as we can, because fuck it. Let's see who we can get in. Because as an extra note, when I was listening to a podcast, they brought up that someone a couple weeks ago leaked that Terry was coming to Smash, Sans was coming to Smash as a Mii costume, and Banjo was going to drop the day of the Direct. Guess what the fourth thing they said was?
What?
Gino is number 5.
I can see it.
Now, I know Smash Leaks are rough, because I think I kept seeing one that said September 9th would be a Direct, and we're getting a female character that wasn't highly requested, which turned out to be not true on both accounts.
Yeah.
But the fact that they got 3/4 of this down pat before, bear in mind, this was weeks ago. This was before, 2 days before the Direct, when we had an SNK copyright pop up for Smash, which practically put Terry on the table 2 days before the Direct. So yeah, I'm willing to say that, and weirdly enough, that would mean the entire Fighter Pass is third-party characters.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, before anyone attempts to correct, no, it is. Geno is owned by Square. I believe everything original to The Legend of the Seven Stars is copyright Square, essentially. Like, all the Mario stuff, that's still Nintendo, but anything that was original to that game, that's all copyright by Square.
If I'm not mistaken, I think, yeah. Either that or it's in this weird limbo that unless they both agree to use it again, then it can't be used.
No, it is, because in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, where Geno makes his only other appearance, there's a copyright Square in that game. Or in the credits of that game.
That's what I'm saying, though. They both might have to be in agreement to use it. Any assets, otherwise it might not be able to be done.
Yeah.
It might be more of a, rather than it's directly Square's or directly Nintendo's stuff, it might be a case of it's co-copyright.
That's very possible. But yeah, even if it's not Geno, there are still more fighters to come. They have confirmed there are additional fighters in development. So, don't worry. Your favorite might still get in. Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE is getting a updated version, dubbed Encore, with new material, and it's coming to Switch. And I'll be honest, if this is coming to Switch, they can port anything they fucking want at this point. Like they'll probably port Star Fox Zero and like Super Mario 3D World at this point. It's like if you're porting this
3D World, possibly because of its appearance in Maker 2.
Yeah.
Zero. It's weird for me to be like this, but honestly, I would think we would see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, the HD versions, ported before we would see Zero. Simply for the fact, not because of any kind of franchise popularity contest or anything like that, simply because of the fact that Zero utilized the gamepad so much.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be the biggest feat if that came over.
The weird thing is, like, SMT Cross Fire Emblem also used a bit of the gamepad stuff. Like, the gamepad was practically all your menuing stuff when you're not in dungeons. More or less, you used it as a phone for all your text messages and all that menuing stuff. So, like, I guess they're just going to turn that all into a proper menu.
Yeah, I was going to say, but to that's easy enough. It wasn't actual gameplay mechanic within it.
I wasn't expecting it because I didn't think it went over that well.
That would have been the thing I would have been more leaning towards, is like,
This is a game only me and like 12 other people like, because we are Persona fans, and we wanted a Persona Lite when we were waiting for Persona 5, because bear in mind, this game came out before Persona 5, and now this new version is coming out probably around the same time Persona 5R is coming out. Because this is coming out in January of next year. Persona 5R is dated for spring of next year, probably February, March. And bear in mind, this is as long as a normal Persona game, because it is a Persona game. Deadly Premonition 2 is coming, is announced for the Switch, which confused literally everyone that I watched the reaction for, of just, wait a minute, what? Excuse me? How? I mean, yes, cool, but how? And also, Deadly Premonition 1, dubbed Origins, is on the Switch as well. And, like, it's also kind of got its own jank, but every version of Deadly Premonition has a bit of jank to it, so it's to be expected.
I feel like I should know this game, but I don't right offhand.
What, Deadly Premonition?
Yeah.
John's played it. It
That
is a
doesn't
third.
mean anything.
I know. It's a third-person shooter with a very like the game is liked by people, not by gameplay, because the gameplay is kind of bad, but by the story and characters, because they are also bad, but they are the so bad it's good variety. Of just like, this is so fucking nonsensical and dumb, but it's so lovable in the fact that it is nonsensical, dumb, and it embraces it. You have a dining room scene where two people are sitting on this very large, like, dining room you expect in a mansion on opposite ends of it, and trying to have a conversation. That is the kind of material you can expect in this game. We also have Divinity Original Sin 2 is out on Switch at the moment. Doom 64 is coming to the Switch November 22nd. I've heard mixed things about 64. Apparently, some people are like, this is an extremely good Doom. And other people are like, we didn't super need this Doom.
I think, and I might be wrong on this, but I think it's because this might have been one of the soft reboots for Doom.
I believe this Doom is referred to in the current Doom in some capacity.
That's why I kind of called it a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Because they didn't full on go with it like they did the new Doom.
Yeah.
And that might be the problem. Because you know as well as I do, when you start doing reboots, that, yeah, you manage to tick people off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a knowledge of the older ones enough to be able to be like, yes, we needed it, no, we didn't, kind of deal. I think it's probably a good step forward.
Yeah.
But,
Rogue Company from Hi-Rez Studio, who did, fuck, I forgot what they did. They have a free-to-play game, most likely, coming this way. Next. Pokemon Sword and Shield got some stuff shown off for it. We have character customization, which, not just, like, tops and bottoms, but, like, any piece of clothing, all of the hair, and any facial features are also, or, like, eye color and makeup and that kind of stuff is customizable in the game. And preview fuel in customization too. We have Pokemon Camp, which is essentially Pokemon Me, but you can do it. It's the same thing, except you see all of your Pokemon at the same time. Well, all of your party Pokemon, and you can like join a camp of another player in up to like 3 people, and you see all your Pokemon running about and doing stuff. We have a curry cooking thing that I don't know what does for you, but there is a list of curry you can make. There's a curry dex, as it's called in game.
a curry dex.
Yes, a curry dex.
Oh boy.
And finally, we got 2 new Pokemon shown off. We have a Poltegeist, a new ghost-type Pokemon. That is a ghost haunting a pot of tea, or a teapot. It looked adorable. And then we have Carmadant, a flying water-type bird Pokemon that, when it uses Surf or Dive, it comes up with a fish in its mouth, which may or may not be a new Pokemon as well. So we might have gotten 3 Pokemon. We just didn't get a name for the 3rd one. But if it gets attacked
with a Magikarp.
No, it's a new fish Pokemon from the look of it. It's not one... Yeah, it does not come with a Magikarp. It comes up with a fish...
It would give Magikarp an actual use.
True. Because if a camera is hit when it has the fish in its mouth, it shoots the fish back at the opponent.
Well, then never mind. It can't be Magikarp. If it shot the fish at the opponent, then all it would do is splash.
Yeah.
And OBS is having fun.
No, OBS, no. Why?
It's trying.
I can hear it.
Oh. Okay. It hiccuped. We're good.
Okay. Did you get to see the designs for the new Pokemon?
Nope.
Oh. I would say load up the video, give you a time code in the video, but I'm not super sure if it'll be cooperative. Let me grab the Bulbapedia or Bulba News, as is tradition.
The video was actually working.
Oh, okay.
It's a broken teapot? Did it say?
Yes, it's a broken teapot. And then Camerot is just a blue bird. There's not much to Camerot's design, but its abilities are really the standout point. Also, it looks like a dumb bird, and I appreciate this dumb-looking bird. It might be my water type for the game.
It's a dodo bird.
Fuck me, you're right. It is. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it is a dodo bird.
I doubt that's going to be a new Pokemon on its own.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It looked like it had enough design to it that it might have been important, but it was one of those, this might be a new Pokemon, if how the dice roll goes.
I mean, it might turn out to be that. Or it might be a region specific of one we already have. Because don't we have more than just a couple of fish Pokemon?
Oh, we have several fish Pokemon, but like fish of that color scheme, there's only like one.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Look at the Alolan Pokemon. Color scheme
True.
Does not have to matter.
Very true.
The shape would be the more defining figure.
Yeah. We don't have any Pokemon that shape, though.
But even with that, I mean, like I said, the more defining feature. That still isn't spot on because, case in point, look at our bong.
Yeah.
Look at Alolan Executor. I mean, they have had pretty big creative differences.
I was trying to pull up. There's one image of that gives a good look at the fish, and nothing about it made me go, "Oh, that's an Alolan form or something." There we go.
Another thing too, it could be a case of they might have modified it for the video.
True, but this is what I was thinking of was the official illustration of the move. Like, if anything, that feels like a new Pokemon, because nothing stands out to that unless, like, I'm thinking, like, Barbaroach? Barbaroach is what I'm thinking of? Kind of.
The reason I kind of shifted from it's probably not a new Pokemon to it might actually be is something new anyhow is because of the simple fact of, once I got to thinking about it, we don't really have normal animals in Pokemon.
No, we don't.
So that would have to be, even if it's just a Pokemon that's sole purpose is just to be in this bird's mouth, it would have to be a Pokemon of some kind.
Which would be extremely weird, but yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, Magikarp's only existence is to be Gyarados.
Yeah. It would just be weird to have a Pokemon that's like, you can't catch this, but you can shoot it out of another Pokemon's mouth after you use a very specific move. I'm like, we've not had that before.
The only other thing would be maybe if it's a fake fish.
Maybe?
And the reason I'm kind of going that way is maybe the way to catch this Pokemon might be to like set out bait or something for it, and that might be the bait.
Yeah. Maybe. Just keep an eye on Pokemon. It's still looking good. I'm still interested. We're getting a very slow trickle of new Pokemon. Like, still a couple months out. Feels weird. Like, I feel like we got more for Sun and Moon by now. But I guess I'm okay with that.
To be fair, I feel like this gen might actually need something akin to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in order to get it complete, because I have to think that some of the development for this gen got lost because of the fact of Let's Go.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they've had to build an engine from the ground up, which was why Let's Go became a thing. They didn't have to actually make new content for it, but at the same time, they still lost hours doing that. So
yeah.
that could be part of the reason why. It might be a case of this gen just doesn't have a lot in its initial games anyhow.
Yeah. We also have Switch Online, or SNES Online, or SNES games on Switch Online. Nice little batch 20. I would get the name right eventually. And also, if you're an online member, you can get a SNES controller. But it cannot attach to the side, which is the disappointing part.
So then, the only thing with this would be getting an official SNES controller as opposed to getting a 8-bit controller that actually still has all the Switch buttons.
Yeah, I'm sure all the buttons and stuff work. It's just it won't connect to this. It won't like slip into the Switch on the side, which the NES ones could.
Granted, I mean, the NES ones, it's kind of easy to make that happen.
Yep. Tetris 99 got a free update, new themes and icons. The themes are you got from tickets from daily challenges. The icons are all challenges. And we got some paid DLC with 2-player battle share, 8-player local arena mode, and a package version came out 2 days ago with all the DLC stuff and a 1-year subscription.
Now, I've got a question. The DLC, it for Tetris 99, that also had the offline stuff, right?
Yes.
So, did the people that already bought the DLC, were they supposed to get the 2-player battle share mode too?
This is a second wave of DLC.
What I'm saying though is I already had the DLC. Was I supposed to have the two-player battle share added too? Or was that supposed to be a second DLC to go along with it?
2-player battle share should be a second. Is it not? It's not, is it?
It's not.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
That's funny. I thought that seemed wrong. But they whoopsed.
Yeah.
And even on the eShop, it says that I have purchased both, even though I haven't. I only purchased the first DLC.
I don't know what to tell you then. Unless purchasing the first DLC gets you both.
Oh, okay. I think I remember now. They had a season pass.
Okay, that's what you...
Okay.
You bought the season.
That makes more sense then. Because I was like, wait a minute. I've got that mode. I feel like that shouldn't be there. That makes sense though. I think at the time that was the only way to get the DLC was to get the season pass. Whereas now that's not the case.
Yeah. Daemon X Machina's got a new prologue demo. Progress will carry over to the full game. Dragon Quest 11 also has a demo, and you get a spirit out of it if you download it. But if you have that or the full game, you get a spirit and Smash. It was kind of buried in the headlines on Smash when you booted it up. Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast single player is coming to Switch. I believe the multiplayer is coming later, and they confirmed Jedi Academy, which is Jedi Knight 1, is coming next year. So if you want some of the better Star Wars games we've ever gotten, here's one of them. Assassin's Creed Rogue Collection is coming to Switch. Greta Autosport, Farming Simulator 20, The Outer Worlds, Devil May Cry 2, the worst Devil May Cry, and Vampire are all coming to Switch at various dates. Animal Crossing New World had some, I think it's a summation of everything from the Treehouse event back in E3. I don't think there was anything new here. But it looks good. It looks like an Animal Crossing game for those that want Animal Crossing. And finally, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is coming to Switch next year, and it will have restored cut content. That is what the end shot of the trailer is. That is the Bionis elbow area of the game. I think it's elbow or shoulder, one of the two. Essentially, it is a cut area from the game that is being restored for this Definitive Edition, and it also looks like the Definitive Edition is running on the same engine as Chronicles 2. Because it looks like the same art style and stuff. So yeah, what'd you think? Information-wise, at least.
It felt about like how most Nintendo Directs wind up going. When they've got a ton of information, they decide to just dump it all at once.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
And is it bad that the first 20 SNES games we got, I feel like have more of an interest of playing more of them than I do out of all the NES titles we've got so far?
Well, it helps that SNES titles have a lot more to them than NES titles, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's got that going for it. But we have a couple of follow-up news related to Nintendo. One of which came out a couple days after the Direct, and the other is a follow-up to some information from the Direct. This first one is, I have no idea how to describe this, outside of, this is a dumb controller thing for a fitness game, that we are getting more information next week. You can see what it looks like in the trailer.
Hey, I've already named it for him.
What?
Switch Fit.
I mean, that would work. It's a ring that you slide one of the Joy-Cons in, and then you have a holster that you put around your thigh that the other Joy-Con goes in, and you do stuff. All we see is people doing stuff in this trailer. We don't see the game attached to it, or games, or whatever.
I love the fact I'm not the only one that thought Switch Fit works perfect for it.
Hell yeah.
The article says it too.
But yeah, this is the new controller gimmick thing that Nintendo is developing. Of course they are. So what do you think?
Because you want to work out on the go, right?
But they don't show any of this on the go. They all show it at home.
Kind of the point I was getting at.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Nintendo wants to push so hard that their console can be at home or on the go, and then they do something stupid like this.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I could see someone being on a bus using this makeshift steering wheel thing and having everyone else looking at them like they're some kind of crazy person. It's like, come on, Nintendo, think about what you're doing here.
Well, in other okay Nintendo news, you know how the NES games have been monthly?
Yeah.
About the SNES release schedule. It's
and the NES release schedule going forward.
Yeah, it's not going to be monthly anymore. It's going to be whenever we can drop games on it, essentially. So, well, you know, honestly, I think the biggest problem for stuff like this is just emulation is so prevalent and so easy to do these days. Like, even getting ROMs, if you are like persistent enough, you can find ROMs, even for Nintendo stuff. Like, you really have to put a lot more than just here's a couple of games.
Okay. I feel like you're right on that point, but at the same time, I feel like this might be better than everyone's letting on to be. Because it doesn't say that they're just abandoning the monthly releases and you'll just get it whenever they feel like down the road.
Yeah.
It's more that they're saying, okay, we're not going to have a regular schedule with this. So, and that kind of works because at the same time, then that means, okay, it just came out, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
If they wanted to next week release another SNES or NES game, then they could go ahead. They wouldn't have to wait till the next month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a double-edged sword. That they could take 2, 3, 4 months before they drop another one, or they could take 4 or 5 days and drop another one. So, it's like, eh. And it's one of those, I think we need to give them a few months and see how this is playing. Is it working to our advantage where 3 months from now we've got another 20 games on it? Or is it a case of 3 months from now we have one more game on it? I mean, that's where I think the bigger issue should come from. I'm hoping for the other, because then that might mean before next year we might start seeing... I'd have to think they'd go probably Game Boy next.
Yeah.
I can't see them jumping to N64 right yet. I would think they'd probably do maybe Game Boy and Game Boy Color. And then at that point would be the question mark going forward.
Mm-hmm. Here's hoping.
The other thing that I wish they would do, you know, Nintendo has to see how big like the Super Metroid and Link to the Past randomizers have gotten.
Yeah.
I wish they would have a way where you could kind of just input those randomized settings into it. Because that would kind of be something too that would allow them to maybe drag out their release schedule. If they could let community created content kind of go into it, but you know, Nintendo doesn't like playing nice sometimes.
Yeah. Well, in a little better news, LDL Games is on the return. Essentially, a new company called LCG Entertainment. They have purchased Telltale and are reviving the label and its properties. Although I did see on Twitter that employment may not be the best at this new Telltale moment. So maybe not the best news. So, I guess yay, kind of. Yeah. But I do have a better news and dumber news. So, you know how I've been playing Yakuza 0 on stream?
Yes.
Well, Yakuza 7 is coming out next year. Except from the reveal that they did, guess what the combat for Yakuza 7 is?
What?
It's an ATB-like RPG combat. Now,
huh.
Yeah. You know what makes this better?
What?
This was an April Fool's joke about, I think, like 2 years ago. With this exact same cast of characters.
Oh, dear God.
Guess what's not an April Fool's joke anymore?
Oh, dear God.
This fucking game. Honestly, it looked... Also, my third monitor keeps disconnecting for some stupid fucking reason. Fine.
Well, that's okay. Your mic keeps cutting in and out for no reason, too.
God fucking... I'm trying to find the sweet spot. But it is so hard to find that sweet spot to where it won't echo, but it picks up everything. It is so difficult. I can't find it. It's either too low and echoes or too high and I get cut off after. Just go out and move on that one third monitor for the rest of the stream. I don't know why it's randomly disconnected. I don't I'm willing to blame the Windows update. The Windows update has fucked so much already. I'm willing to believe it's fucked that too somehow. Anyway, a little bit more updated news. Shovel Knight. We had a Shovel Knight Direct, essentially. It was technically labeled a Yacht Club Games Direct, but it was mostly Shovel Knight news.
So it was a Shovel Direct?
Yes. Essentially, King of Cards and Showdown, the last two free updates to Shovel Knight, they are coming. Does it not really list the release date? No, why does it not list the release date? I was about to say, we got another release date for King Cards. It's the end of this year. And they are not in the trip. Of course not. I gotta go look this up. December of this year. Yeah, both are coming as free update in December. Also, the 3-pack of Amiibo are also coming in December, and scanning them will give you the fairies and stuff, but they will also give you an alternate costume for each of the characters, as you see below. It also gives Shovel Knight an alternate costume if you have the Shovel Knight.
Well then.
Yep. We also have a new Shovel Knight game, Shovel Knight Dig, coming from is this? Oh, of course. What would it be? Damn it. Nitro is who's doing this. It's a more or less a spin-off game. It's going to be more roguelike. You're just digging down through these different areas and trying to collect treasure and stuff. That's coming soon. There's no release date on that one, unfortunately.
That's coming soon, TM?
Yeah. And that was pretty much it. How you feeling about Shovel Knight being almost complete?
It'll never be complete. You know that as well as I do.
Yeah. They'll try to throw something else new on it. This time you have to pay for it. After we give you fucking 3 additional campaigns and a fucking Smash-like multiplayer mode for free.
You know, it might be time for Shovel 2.
Yeah, we might be getting Shovel Knight 2 at some point.
Although I don't know where you would go with it.
I mean, Shovel Knight Dig is just, hey, the Drill Knight fucking stole Shovel Knight's stuff and ran away, and Shovel Knight goes after him. That is literally...
Okay, to this I'm gonna say though, they've already went this big, they couldn't just do a Shovel Knight 2 and it be a small something.
Yeah.
It would have to be pretty big, at least in the sense of being able to do like they've done here. Because truthfully speaking, I could fully see them going through and even fleshing this game out farther. But yeah.
And that is all the news we got. So, ready for releases?
1 second.
Good, I need a drink. I'm gonna need it. Because as you see, folks, there's a lot of releases on several. Like a lot. Like the fucking 10th. Like 2 days from now.
Okay.
Alright. Coming out today, we have WRC8 FIFA or FIA World Rally Championships Deluxe Edition for Xbox One. On the 9th, we have Path of Exile Blight for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 10th, we have Battle Wake for PlayStation 4, Blasphemous for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Caravan Stories for PlayStation 4, Distraint Deluxe Edition for PlayStation 4 and Vita, eFootball PES 2020 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Forager for PlayStation 4, Gears 5 for Xbox One, the proper release date, I believe. I think if you got a different edition of it, you have it early at the moment. I know John has his copy early.
Yeah, I think it's through the Game Pass. You can get it 5 days early. I know they were saying.
Well, John has a physical edition, like a physical copy of it early.
He might have got a review copy, truthfully.
John doesn't do reviews.
Yeah, stupid things happen.
I know.
And quite frankly, if he plays it on the stream, then that would be close enough for them.
Probably. We have Greedfall for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Grid Ultimate Edition for Xbox One, Gun Pixies for Switch, Hero Express for PlayStation 4, Jigsaw Zen for PlayStation 4, NASCAR Heat 4 Gold Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, NHL 20 Ultimate Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, No Man's Sky Beyond for PlayStation 4, Sudden Strike 4 Complete Collection for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Tekken 7 Zafina DLC for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, The Walking Dead Telltale Definitive Series Protector Pack for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Trials Rising Crash in Sunburn for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Old Utowar Muno Zan PlayStation 4, and WRC FIA World Rally Championships for Xbox One. On the 11th, we have Real Fishing Road Trip Adventure for PlayStation 4, Thorn Quest Deluxe for Switch. On the 12th, we have Agatha Knife for PlayStation 4, Newt 1 for Switch, Troll Sorcerer Angel for Switch, Super Dodgeball Beats for PlayStation 4, Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Mayan for Switch, Sinking City for Switch, and the 10th Line Special Edition for Switch. On the 13th, we have Atomic Heist for Switch, Borderlands 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Chop for Switch, Game & Ex Machina for Switch, Distraint Deluxe Edition for Switch, Ellen for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Hunt Showdown for Xbox One, Light Fairy Tale Episode 1 for Xbox One, NASCAR Heat 4 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Next Gen Sandbox for PlayStation 4, NHL 20 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Rest in Pieces for Switch, and Star Wars Pinball for Switch. On the 16th, we have We Were Here for Xbox One. On the 17th, we have Owl, the Somian Files for PlayStation 4 and Switch. We have Bounce for PlayStation 4, Bus Simulator for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I actually have seen that in play. I think it's Centipede is what I'm thinking of. I think it's Centipede, where you go around eating stuff and you get bigger and you try to not, like, run into yourself.
Oh, Snake.
Snake, that's what it is. Yeah, essentially, it's Snake, but with buses.
Hmm.
It actually looked kind of fun. We have Destiny 2 New Light Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Castle Crashers Remastered for Switch, Groundhog Day Like Father Like Son for PlayStation 4, Jet Cave Adventure for Switch, Lego Jurassic World for Switch, Rebel Cops, my bad, for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Real Fishing Road Trip Adventure for PlayStation 4 and Switch, On the 19th, we have Devil May Cry 2, the worst Devil May Cry for Switch. I will not stop saying it is the worst Devil May Cry because it actually is unanimously decided to be the worst Devil May Cry.
Except for there's probably that one person out there somewhere in the world that thinks it's the best.
Probably. Grid Auto Sport for Switch, Hunt Showdown for Xbox One, Inferno 2 for Switch, Lost Castle for Switch, Overland for Switch, Police Stories for Switch, Puzzle Quest, The Legend Returns for Switch, and Driver for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And finally, on the 20th, we have Island Maze for Switch, Niflheim for Xbox One, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Rebound Dodgeball Evolved for Xbox One, The Sojourn for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for Switch, Tide Wag Vir Nimans for Switch, and Untitled Goose Game for Switch. That is the actual title of the game.
Yeah. I guess they figured if they just called it Goose Game, it'd be too much like Duck Game.
Pretty much. Which takes us to quick draws, and you know how we're going to get a Pokemon anime to coincide with Sword and Shield's release, as always?
Yeah.
What if that anime didn't focus exclusively on the gallery?
Wait, what?
Yes.
But how does that work?
I don't know. Dubbed just Pokemon Pocket Monsters in Japan. Bear in mind, this is just Japanese version. Japanese right now. We don't have anything for an English dub just yet. Mainly due to the fact of Sun and Moon isn't done airing yet, and it's also like probably behind, or the dub's probably behind by a few dozen episodes or so.
Easily.
Apparently, it will see Ash visiting all regions from the series. So Kanto through Alola, along with Galar, I assume, will all be seen. The teaser doesn't give us much information, it just shows the starters and stuff. So, yeah. Here's this on play. How do you feel?
It's almost like they're wanting to kind of do this as like a send-off kind of deal.
I mean, I wouldn't mind the Pokemon anime going, you know, we should really change things. Maybe we should just stop having Ash as the protagonist and, like, do something.
Like, I almost feel like this is at least gonna be the end for Ash kind of deal.
I wouldn't mind.
As to how it goes from there, I don't know. Because I can't foresee this being the last for Pokemon games, so we're gonna have more going forward. Unless the show's planning on stopping here, yeah, there's gonna be more.
I would say, hey, you have this manga called Pokemon Adventures that, like, loosely adapts the game's story, but does a lot of its own material along the way that just cycles out protagonists, but also keeps them in play if they want to. It has an ongoing story, but it changes out protagonists for the relevant games. So maybe you should start doing that. Just gonna point that out. Because people like that manga, like, extremely well. That's my only thought of this, is like,
the only other thing I can think of is, are we on an anniversary year if this stands true?
No.
Because, I mean, that's the only other thing I could think of is maybe them treating it as like an anniversary season. Like, I don't think we should be, but
I was about to say, we had an anniversary back during Sword, or not, yes, during X and Y. We are 2 years short of the 25th anniversary.
so then, yeah, it's not that.
Yeah. Maybe it's them just going, okay, why don't we just do a big celebration? Why would we just do a big anniversary season for once? Because they don't really do that.
I'm a success. I read about it in a magazine.
Like, that's my only thought, is that they're going to do an anniversary season for
Maybe.
funsies.
Yacht Club.
Yeah, that's my quick draw. We're going to get more information on the 29th, so we'll know the full story then.
But, well, as much as I want everyone to know.
Yeah. You do not have a quick draw. I can tell you about some out of context details for Geo this week. Or not Geo. God damn it. Gotta get used to that. 0-1.
I mean, if you have out of context stuff for Geo, then yeah.
No. Ataru, while he doesn't have his I am Iron Man moment because he is keeping his identity as 0-1 a secret, he does have a good moment at the episode. That I feel like is setting up we're going to mirror this moment later on, and he will have his I am Iron Man moment. Because I saw someone say that on Twitter. I'm like, no, that's in the pocket for either the end of the series or for a big moment in the.
Always been this storybook champion, this knight in shining armor.
I almost feel like,
But what they don't do is they don't
and this is just purely from an outside looking in,
that armor.
I almost feel like if they're holding that back for something, it's going to be a mid-season.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the catalyst to drive the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see that being the right writing method for that anyhow.
We get some backstory. We are definitely setting up Vulcan as a foil to Ataru.
Bounces off.
Especially since they have parallel fights at the end of this episode. Extended parallel fights at the end of this episode.
Achieve that one thing you always wanted. The armor.
Vulcan may have one of the most badass henshins we've ever had in this franchise. Like, hot fucking damn. You may be an asshole, but I must applaud you for that move. Our terrorist organization is now publicly known as of episode 2. So they're like a bit out in the open now, which is kind of quicker than I was expecting. Like, I didn't think it would take us that long to get it on the table. But episode 2 fast is like, hot damn, we are like putting the status quo like on notice every week of like, yeah, we are not afraid to change things up in a noticeable good way. Because it feels like a logical progression considering the episode. What else? We do get a lot of aims this week with backstory and stuff, so Vulcan and Valkyrie are, well, primarily Vulcan, but a little bit of Valkyrie are set up. Honestly, this episode felt good. Felt good. It's just weird that there's still no opening. 2 episodes, no opening, and I'm like, how long are we gonna keep this going?
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Because usually,
Like, I know
first episode and last episode are kind of the ones that don't.
Yeah. And like sometimes an important episode in the middle.
Yeah,
Like,
but those are like few and far between.
Yeah. I was thinking like XA Christmas episode, I think had no opening.
I think that typically that's the only 2 that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Like, I know they have an opening because there's a behind the scenes video that has made the rounds that has the cast like talking about their roles and stuff, and we see some behind the scenes of like filming. Like Vulcan, Valkyrie, Ataru, and Iza are all seen like on a green screen set, like having a picture taken or something. And I feel like that's a part of the opening because we haven't seen anything related to that yet. So I assume we haven't got the opening yet because we want those extra like 2 to 3 minutes for more content.
Unless
Which I don't.
they didn't have a spoiler-free opening that they could run right now. And there's still something they're holding back.
I don't know what that would be because we know everything coming this month and nothing is surprising. Because everything was established at the press conference. Unless we're just waiting for Valkyrie to debut and then do the opening, which is entirely possible because Valkyrie debuts next week along with Biting Shark. Which, surprising enough, Biting Shark is our first form change, not Falcon.
I bet though then that's what it is. Next week probably won't have an opening either. It'll probably be the week after.
Yeah. It's just weird that Biting Shark is the first form change when I don't think you can get Biting Shark right now. You can get Flying Falcon. I think Flying Falcon comes with the attaché case. And even more, Flying Falcon was in 01's debut in Over Quartzer. But it's not the first form change. I was fully expecting Flying Falcon to debut this week. Because I thought I saw images of Vulcan and 01 fighting, and 01 was in Flying Falcon form. But I guess those are from a later episode. But no, 01 continues to look good. I'm happy. I am happy and content. That 01 is a good writer series. It's made me interested in the Soto now. Because I've always been on the outside looking in on Soto. And the fact that this week's blog for Soto not only went, alright, here's Grease Perfect Kingdom, just a little teaser for him for later. Also found out that there's a third form in the Grease movie called Phantom Build. It looks better than the slight repaint of Hazard for Metal Build. But, yeah, they showed that. They delved more into the stuff they're doing, like the under the hood stuff for the Soto line this year, where they're going, all right, every wave will have enough bodies for the armors. Because in previous years, especially Geo, you would get, for instance, one bot or like 2 bodies for the Decade armor, so like a Ryuki armor and a Fize armor. you would get the bodies for those, but you only have one armor to put on them.
That's weird.
Yeah. Like, you would not have enough bodies for the armors you're getting in the wave, but they're changing that this year so that when you're getting wave 1 of 01 in October, I believe. October or November, I forget which. Excuse me. I think it's October. There will be enough bodies for the armors that you're getting in that set. Which might mean I have to feel like that means they're paring down the sets a little. From like 5 figures to maybe like 3. If they're gonna do that, I don't know. But they showed that off. They showed off a lot of posability for 01, and then they went, oh, by the way, next week we're covering O's Chronicle. So here's all the O's figures. Well, the Tato Ba and then Gatakiri Ba, Latarata, and Sagozo next week. So I'm kind of interested in Soto, especially since, for whatever dumb reason, let me find an image in any of the chats I'm in. Really? No? Do I gotta go to Twitter for this one? We actually have a 01, like, shooting wolf form. This is apparently official. But that is what 01 would look like if he used the Shooting Wolf Progrise key that Vulcan uses to transform. The fact that this is official, legitimately a thing, makes me look at Soto and go, okay, you did like 9 armors that were only like box arts on a toy. You gonna do this, and you gonna do it for Valkyrie as well? Because, like, I'm sure next week we're gonna get the Rushing Cheetah one. And can I get this? Because I kind of like this. Yeah, like I said, I'm happy. 01's good. I hope it keeps up. Anything else?
No.
All right, tomorrow is our second to last episode of O's. I watched the 4 episodes today. We ended on a good point for these 4 episodes.
Not a cliffhanger again, is it?
No, but it's a tone setter for the final 4 episodes.
Okay.
And also it helps that, like, these 4 episodes kind of have a big running theme. It feels like we're kind of getting, like, part 1 of the finale, and, like, part 2 is next week. But yeah, we are second to last episode of O's, which means as long as we get to do it, O's will be done as of next week. And I've already did the watch list for Forza, since that's where we're moving towards. That is not the correct watch list. I don't know why I clicked on the O's one. It will be the same amount of episodes, podcast-wise. We will just have, like, not another movie in the middle, like we did with O's, because we've already covered it. Unless you want to re-talk about Superhero Tyson.
No.
Okay, then. But instead of ending on the final episodes, we'll be ending with the Forza Wizard crossover. Which I'll have to talk about Wizard a little bit if you've not listened to us way back when for TGSR, like, watched all of Wizard. I'll get you up to speed on Wizard for that one. Outside of that, next week is finale of Yakuza 0 on Wednesday, us continuing Fire Emblem Three Houses on Thursday. As I draw closer to the decision that I don't know how I want to take it at this point. I know what the choice is, but I don't know which way to go. I'm extremely conflicted. Mainly because reasons that I can't talk about until we get there. Friday will be either Minecraft or us finally going back to Minish Cap. Did the dumb side quest throw both of us off of Minish Cap super hard?
I don't think so. I needed to walk away from it for a little bit. I think we'll probably go back this week.
Okay. And next Saturday will be Rampant Gaming, which I need to get on Fortnite daily challenges. I have not touched Fortnite since the new dailies and weeklies came out.
Fine.
I'll probably do it tomorrow after I do notes for the show. But yeah, that's it for Tommy. I'm Peace. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.